Founded in 1991 by nutrition scientist and physiologist Dr. David Plourdé, the Plorde Institute has quietly become a world leader in science-based weight loss. Located in the scenic wooded ponds of Arboretum Lakes in the western suburbs of Chicago, Illinois, the distinguished clients of Plorde come from coast to coast in their quest for science-based solutions in their weight loss efforts. From laboratory-based exercise prescription and the psychology of eating behavior to culinary art and science, the interdisciplinary team scientifically determines every aspect of the weight loss intervention. Research and development chef Sonny Weiss matches 20 years of culinary expertise with the metabolic research of Dr. Plourdé, so that prescribed meal plans are not just metabolically optimum for body fat weight loss, but also mouth-watering and delicious. The accumulative impact of the Plourdé method produces weight loss outcomes that are unmatched throughout the world.
Welcome to the Plorde Institute, a world leader in interdisciplinary, science-based weight loss. The Plorde weight loss method combines nutrition, exercise physiology, body composition, and the psychology of eating behavior. The result produces outcomes in body fat weight loss that are unmatched throughout the world. And today, we're here with Dr. David Plourdé of the Plorde Institute to tell us about his revolutionary method. Doctor, can you tell us a little bit about your background and also how you got started in science-based weight loss?
Sure, Jen. So in high school and in college, I was a state champion competitive athlete. I'd set numerous state records, and I had a passion for human nutrition, exercise physiology, as well as human performance. But I also had a strong desire to help people. I completed my bachelor's degree in social work from the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater with a minor in coaching, because I thought at some point I might be a professional counselor. About my junior year in college, I had a vision that my two passions, science and a desire to help people, would collapse into one: interdisciplinary science-based weight loss. I went on to get my PhD with an emphasis in interdisciplinary science with a specialization in human nutrition and exercise physiology. My research background had to do with a close examination of the effect of hidden carbohydrates on human adipose tissue metabolism. In other words, the effect that hidden carbohydrates have on fat cells' ability to release fatty acids, and that's impact on body fat weight loss limitations for overweight human subjects.
What makes the Plorde Institute different from other weight loss programs?
In a word, science. You see, Jen, when a person makes an effort to lose weight, they might eat more protein, they might eat less protein, they might eat more fat, they might eat less fat. A person may wonder, how much carbohydrate should I be eating? They may consider reducing their calories or their portions, alter their sleep patterns, incorporate some stress management techniques, institute a new exercise regimen. But let's say as a result of all of these changes, a person sees an outcome perhaps they like. Maybe they lose weight, or maybe they just feel better. My question is, of all of those changes that were made, which changes were the most instrumental in producing that outcome? And the answer is, outside of a laboratory setting, that it's almost impossible to know. These are precisely the kinds of problems the Plorde Institute solves, because you see, the Plorde Institute is a laboratory.
When you say laboratory, how do you mean exactly?
We study the precise underlying chemical composition of what people eat and what they drink, as well as the exact nature of their eating and drinking behaviors. We correlate these things to something we call cellular respiration. It's a fancy phrase, but it just means we study the impact that food has on what drives cellular work. You see, under normal metabolic conditions, when a person's eating as opposed to when they're fasting, the cells of the body run on primarily a type of fat or a type of sugar, fatty acids or glucose. The overweight person that has a hard time losing weight actually has an enzyme problem within their fat cells that inhibits the mobilization of fatty acids. So in other words, fat becomes essentially totally unavailable for cellular respiration. Under these metabolic conditions, it's practically physiologically impossible for an overweight person to lose weight. And to make matters worse, you really can't exercise yourself out of these metabolic conditions, because 80% of the equation is studying the effect that food has on the brain, the endocrine system, hormones, and how those hormones influence what drives cellular respiration.
So how does the Plorde Institute specifically help someone who's struggling with a weight problem?
What the Plorde Institute has discovered is precisely how to control the enzyme that controls individual fat cell weight. When we make decisions to scientifically modify what a person's eating or drinking or how they're eating or drinking, those decisions aren't predicated upon my gut feelings or what the latest trendy article said in some health magazine, but rather they're predicated upon laboratory tests where guess who's the subject? That individual and their metabolic response alone. The accumulative impact of the Plorde method of science-based weight loss maximizes both the mobilization of fatty acids from the fat cell and couples it with the uptake and utilization of fatty acids in muscle contractions as a result of science-based exercise prescription for that individual. All of this leads to weight loss outcomes that are safe, predictable, and clinically significant and unmatched throughout the world.
So what are typical weight loss outcomes for people who follow your program?
The average body fat weight loss for women is approximately 66% from their peak body fat weight, which translates to nearly 60 pounds of body fat weight loss. For men, the average body fat weight loss is approximately 75% from their peak body fat weight, which translates to approximately 80 pounds of body fat weight loss. We know of no other non-surgical science-based weight loss program in the world that can make these claims. As a matter of fact, when people achieve their body fat weight loss goals and then they enter into a structured and therapeutic follow-up, we have nearly a 90% long-term success rate.
That's fascinating. The Plorde Institute, a revolutionary scientific approach to weight loss with significant documented clinical results. Dr. Plorde, thank you for your time.
The pleasure's mine, Jen. Thank you.
Life after joining the Plorde Institute has been wonderful. I think of April 17th, which is the day I started this journey 8 years ago, as my birthday because he gave me my life back.
Working with Dave, I found out quite scientifically that when I met him, I was 32% body fat. That was 80 pounds of fat on board. After we got to our goal, I bottomed out at 3.9% body fat, 7 pounds, a net loss of 73 pounds of fat.
So I went from about 248 the day I started down to 179. I stopped telling people when they asked how much weight I lost. I started describing it in years gained back, honestly.
You know, I'm more focused on living and less focused on losing weight and dieting, which is really kind of a nice thing to not have dieting be the first thing you think about when you get up and the last thing you think about when you go to bed. But it's about family and living and just enjoying life.
Don't struggle anymore. Call 844-PLORDE now for successful science-based weight loss.